Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up? What's up, fellow TV watchers? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name is Adam Vale, senior editor over at thecoalition.com, and I'm joined again by good friend Ken, who's also a contributor to thecoalition.com because he's done a few reviews. I didn't forget. Remember that back in the day, back in the 70s?
I do. Whoa, easy.
Yo,
Easy.
I was like, yo, Saturday Night Fever gonna be a hit. And he's like, yo, I gotta cover that shit.
I'm gonna cover that Atari game.
There we go. I'm telling you, E.T. that the game sucked. You loved it though. You're like, yo, his neck extends. He goes, whoop. It was like, this will be a hit.
Oh, you get a good E.T. sound. I gotta give you credit.
Oh man, that game. I always remember that. My dad brought that always like, oh, new game, E.T. Oh, I love the movie. I got stuck in the first hole. And I'm like, yo, bring this back. I can't get out. It's let me try this. And it's got the one, but couldn't do it either. It's like, it'll take practice. You'll get we'll get the money's worth. Just play it. Yeah, that was garbage.
I'm pretty sure my brother set a world record for what was the game that you swung from Pitfall.
Pitfall.
That's a rope the rope over the gators and stuff, and then in the tunnels, right? We played it. Our parents went away, and we played it for an entire weekend, Friday until Sunday night. We played it for so long, we blew up the TV.
The banging.
Oh, thank you. Yep, thank you.
Yep.
We blew up the TV, the Atari.
Oh man. Well, there you go. Put in that work. Put that time in it. And then now he became pro. He's out there. He's doing things.
That's it.
Yeah. But hey, here we are, people. This is it. Spartacus. House of Ashur, season 1, episode 3. Unworthy. And you know what came to mind when I saw this, right? You know what came to mind.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
I had to. Every time I hear anyone say that, movie, show, in real life, that's the first thing that comes up. Wayne's World. It comes up every time. Right? You can't go wrong with that. But real quick, housekeeping, everybody. I realized that I had the wrong banner. Maybe you didn't even notice. I shouldn't even bring it up. But if you did notice, it said Landman because I just finished recording with Florence and I thought I changed it. I made a banner for our recording. I didn't swap it. And then you called it today. You're like, oh, did you swap it? I was like, what? You knew? I didn't know you noticed that. But
wow. When I turned it on the next week and I still see. Anyways, moving on.
But there you go. But anyway, we did that. So at this point, thanks again for all the likes, the subs. Definitely at this point, we're recording. It's a few weeks early, but a lot of people jumping in. We have Landman, as I just mentioned. Tulsa King was going toward the end. As by the time this comes out, it'll be over. But we're still doing Mayor of Kingstown, another great show. So a lot going on in the channel. And of course, here we go. This was a brutal episode. This is a show in general. We know what to expect. If you're a fan of Spartacus, if you watch the other ones and you're already watching 1 and 2 episodes, you know what to expect. And I'm starting to think that in every episode, we're going to get some brutality. It's not going to be one of those, we got one brutal. We're going to have a lot of talk, conniving. And then next episode fight. No, it seems like every episode is going to throw something because, man, this definitely threw a few of them. Threw over the top moments. But let's just get into it, man.
And no one is against being brutal, which you'll hear about later. I won't jump the gun.
All right, start it off then. Let's go.
Great. Third episode, Unworthy. Starts with Korris and Ashur arguing, right? About the status of their house, of the House of Ashur.
Yeah, he's still pissed. Korris is still pissed about. Always pissed. Like, what's up with her? Why is she not ready? He's like, hey, you wanted this. I told you she was untamed. The way it's weird too with Korris because he was a slave. So was Ashur, and even the senator had called it out in the last episode when he was like, you talk to them like they're nobody. You would once one of them. It's just whatever. It's just like a product. But he's doing the same thing here, Korris. Like, oh, she's not tame, she's not ready. Come on. It's like, well, that's your job. Just get her ready. Just do that.
I kind of feel like his status as a free man gets him in a little verbal trouble every once in a while. He thinks he can pop off at the mouth to Dominus. It's gonna get him in trouble. I think.
We all know that feeling. We're all free, as you want to say it. But when you're at work, are you really free?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Talk to the boss like that. That's what I'm
saying.
There
you go. You get to loose with the lips, and then even if how many times you watch in movies, like, can I speak freely? That doesn't really mean anything. Yeah, you could say it. It's like, you're a prick. I hate you. Oh yeah, you know what? There's a door. Get stepping. Use those lazy feet to go out the door. So. I don't buy any of that, but he starts mouthing off a little bit, and then again, that's when Ashur starts putting him in this place with the whole thing.
Yeah, I think the writers do a really good job of episodically. Am I saying the word right?
Yeah.
Of hooking you early in the episode and giving you a good twist towards the end on what they hooked you on in the beginning. So that argument at the beginning has a neat twist in the end. So just when you think Ashur is gonna fire this guy for opening his mouth, he reminds him, I pay you coin. So I'm very interested in finding out what the people who watch the episode think too.
Right. So what was it? Now we have the Gladiators doing their thing.
Back in the Lotus, yep.
They're always they just are all still pissed about this whole situation with Achillia. It makes sense what happens later on, but the fact that they just keep going at it, bitching about it, and they don't understand why she's getting this special treatment. Well, they should have seen it. They saw it in the last episode.
Yeah,
he took his hand out and he's like, yo, I'm showing her respect. Why? Well, she made me bleed. None of you fools can do it, but they're still mouthing off about this.
Well, I mean, for us, it's been a week, and we kind of we're watching it from a viewer's perspective. If you put yourselves in the shoes of the gladiators, there were no woman gladiators. There were no.
Prove it. You don't know. You don't know. Well, maybe
good pick. Maybe there was one or two. I'm sure there was female warriors that we won't deny, but the Romans did not put women in the arena.
The banging.
So I gotta figure that out. I tend to do that.
Yeah, like boom, boom, boom.
I tend to do that. I get excited. Sorry, people.
He gets excited.
But so I understand their grievance. They feel like the house is in poor standing. They're not respected, and now you bring a lady into the school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like saying that now doesn't sound as grievous because we're used to a world wherein we split duties and we are equal and all the above. Then it was not the case. Women were treated as less than.
So then what we get? This dude's dad. What's it? Claudius? What was his name?
Celsius. I call him Celsius.
Celsius? Okay, yeah. Celsius. Because we find out that Korris has to go on a mission. He's got to step away for a while.
Yeah.
And he says, hey, the new boss here, was it a Dontori? I'm blanking on all of this today. Doctori.
Yeah.
The new Doctori for now is that dude, the older guy. That's the
father,
the young dude, the
father-son combo,
the father-son one, which I still find kind of odd that they're both in this situation here in the Lotus, training to be gladiators. The age, you know what I mean? It's like why are you both put in this spot? Because remember, they were sold as slaves. A lot of groups. That's how people were ended up here.
Dad said it in episode 1, though.
What? Because he wanted him there.
No, he was part of the House of Gladiators. So he's been there for 20 years.
The banging. Yeah, I get that. But why have the son there? Why even get him involved?
Because the son was born there.
So if you're born there, then you automatically roll over into.
Well, he's the son of a gladiator and a servant. So
Oh,
it's probably
if it's a
he
servant,
said
I don't remember the servant part.
Well, he
Okay,
mentioned he mentioned basically he
okay.
conceived him in at one of those whores and wine parties that
Yeah,
they
yeah,
throw,
yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So born into servitude, basically.
Well, for some reason, the son gets pissed and just starts attacking. What did we call him? Malibu.
Yeah, Malibu. I like Malibu.
He starts attaching, and it's only because they don't really pop up with the names. Every
Yeah.
once in a while, they sprinkle them in, but it's not like every time they refer to a character, they call out the person's name. Besides Achillia, that's it. She's the only one that they do it to all the time.
Mhm.
Everybody else, like all the other gladiators, they don't bring it up.
Yeah, and then the other main characters are
Achillia.
Dominus and Doctore, so they don't even use their
So
names either. So
no,
yeah.
no. So we give him our own name. So Malibu. So the son just starts attacking him. They start going at it, and I didn't understand. Is that out of frustration? Technically, your dad just got promoted. Why are you bitter? Is it still because of the female that's in the group right now?
Yeah.
I don't.
They're all riled up, and that kid's got a lot of ambition, and I think he's just got a lot of energy. So he always
He's
does the
always got
wrong thing. Haste makes
always
waste.
got something. But then we jump into the house. We got Ashur hanging out with Red. That's his main girl. And she's just telling him that she had words with Achillia, right?
Yeah,
Remember that
yeah,
was the whole thing. It was like, yeah, we talked. It's like, what, you bring her on? You can't. Oh, I went down. You shouldn't be in the low. Da, 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 you're too soft. And she's like, I'm not a little mouse. She does the whole back and forth.
yeah.
But he just doesn't want to hear it. He's upset, and he says, he's like, you're not my wife. You don't tell me what to do. You don't get involved in my business.
Mhm.
So he just laid it down. It still throws me off a little bit of how this whole thing started, because remember, this is an alternate universe. He woke up between two girls in this bed.
Mhm.
And so we don't know too much of the backstory. I'm assuming the way he sort of said it before, she was a slave and now is his main girl.
No, well,
But the
she
other one
worked
is the
for
slave.
she was all of them were there. He just inherited the house from Crassus. When he, according to this version, when he backstabbed Spartacus, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Crassus and Caesar give him the house of
yeah,
Batiatus.
yeah.
So we didn't miss a whole lot in all honesty. It's sometime shortly thereafter.
I'm just getting at that. It seems like the way she's acting that they've had a long-standing relationship,
Yeah,
and
I
it
think
wasn't
he's
like,
been
oh, you're
finishing for a
you're the
while.
boss. All right, you got the juice now. I'll just lay down with you tonight. That's just how this works. You're the boss. No, I think that they had a relationship for a while because the way she was acting with
That's
him.
fair. I think
That's
that's a fair
only
statement.
right. That's the only thing that I was
Mhm,
getting at.
mhm.
All right, so where are we up to now? Is this when we go to that back alley training, right? Because
Oh, the
Korris.
pit. Yeah, the
Yeah,
pit,
Korris
the
gets
pit.
over to the area where he needs to go on
Hold
his
on.
mission. Go
Hold
ahead.
on.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Horace is walking through the streets of Capua and he bumps into four wives who are
Oh
out there
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
plucking,
yeah.
basically, right? Being hens.
Oh,
They were out there first talking about fabrics and how the trade routes are in trouble because of the Civil War, and that how the one lady's house doesn't have enough grain for the winter, and she's trying to appeal to the other wife to appeal to the husband, and they were all politicking basically in the way that they did back in the day. Washwoman stuff. So, and then when they're leaving the House of Fabrics, they bump into Korris and they try to talk down to him. And he's like, no, I'm a free man. You can't talk to me that way. Have a good day, ladies. And
yeah.
then
They
he
all
breaks out.
hate Azure. They just keep talking bad about him.
Yeah,
Oh, the
they
Syrian,
kept
the
adding
Syrian,
up.
the Syrian, the Syrian. You work for him, the
Mhm.
Syrian. It's like, what? Stop already.
Yeah.
It's just getting repetitive with this whole thing. They just hate him so much. At least the main senator's wife is the one that really starts it. I mean, there was some little back and forth bitterness going on with one of the other wives that shows up, and she's like, "Hey, my son's of age." to get married.
Oh
and
yeah,
the
the
whole thing,
caddy
right?
stuff.
Yeah, and then she was like, "Yeah, that sounds good. I could put my daughter, but I want someone a little higher caliber, basically, not a lesser like you and your boy." That's what she's pretty much saying,
Hey.
right? And I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, fine." And then she was like, "Well, I guess you know best, right?" Yeah, I guess so. And then they gave her a middle finger and walked off. I was like, "Yeah, thank you." Oh,
It's
right.
this whole,
Oh,
it's this
wow.
whole
Oh man.
highborn versus pulling your bootstraps up and earning it. The
Mhm.
highborn folks, the ones born rich, they don't want people
No.
coming from the lower ranks and becoming rich and things like that. They're trying to keep it all amongst themselves. It's old money versus new money, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So then I think now this is where we get into it. No, actually, did it?
Yeah.
No.
No, now we jump to the
Now we did.
pit.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Now we get to the pit.
Brutal. Now
Yeah.
a lot of
Oh,
craziness going on here. No
oh,
rules with these dudes. Even the fans can get involved in it. One guy just grabbed a pot and bashed it on one of the
oh, it was
fighters' head.
the lady
Right? Yeah.
that.
Yeah. She just like,
Yeah.
she was like, that's not fair. That's not
Yeah.
fair. And then she's like, "He's my son." No, I don't know, but it was
Yeah,
just
that
kind of
was
weird to
brutal
do
though,
that.
because that went from Korris in the street talking to the four ladies, to the four
Mhm.
wives, to some dude getting his jaw punched off his face
Ugh. In the slow mo, the whole.
in slow mo, and then it was like I thought it was his girlfriend that smashed the dude in the head with the, and then that dude turned around and punched her in the face. Oh my god!
It was pretty
Not
rough.
condoning that. I'm just
No,
saying.
it was just. I mean, that's what this show. This is what you tune in for.
Yeah,
When you're
sure.
watching a show like this, you know what to expect. And if you've never watched it, it's a treat because there's really nothing else like this.
Yeah,
So
not
you're seeing all this craziness. Everything in period piece usually are very proper. The crown and all those type of things.
right.
So when you go this far back, they're just the brutality is there. I'm not comparing the crown with this, but just saying period pieces. But anyway, while he's there, of course, he sees the guy says he's his old friend. I was like, "Oh, what are you doing slumming here? What's going
Yeah,
on?" And like, what was it? Go ahead.
no, that guy was. They were both gladiators back in the day when they were younger.
Mm-hmm.
But the one dude is obviously in a bad way. His teeth are all messed up, right?
They
He's
should all
dressed
be
all
messed up for
disheveled.
everyone. They didn't have dentists back then. They
No,
were,
not
they were
really.
like, "Hey, if you got something wrong with your tooth, you pull the sucker out. That's
Yeah.
it. Inflict that at your buddy." I'm like, "Gotcha."
They did invent the veneer.
Did they?
The Romans, yeah, they invented the tooth.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, all right. Gotta come up with something.
But yeah, so you got the vibe right off the bat that the old gladiator bummy guy,
Mm-hmm.
he was a schemer, and he basically readily admitted that the house that the Dominus he works for is even broker than
The bank.
Ashur, and that he was there to bet on the pit fights for his boss because that's the only way they're making money lately. So like low rung.
Which I call BS because how are you really making money from that? Like we just saw, it looks like just the commoners that were there. So,
Right.
and not a lot as opposed to the arena. This was a closed room. It reminded me of the old Kimbo slice fights that we would see on YouTube. Remember, like out in Florida,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh yeah, it's like a handful of people. They pay their money, they put up some bed sheets, and then you watch a fight." So that's what this looked like. That's why I call BS when he was like, "Oh, this is the only way they make money." Really? Come on now, just the numbers. Just do the numbers for all the amount of people that go to those arena ones. But hey, whatever. He's there.
Think about it though, because a few minutes later, after Korris basically tells Dirty Tooth Dude to go away,
Mm-hmm.
the rich kid shows up from episodes 1 and 2 that was sitting next to the rich lady in the arena, the one that was responsible for putting the fighters in the ring.
Yeah,
And if guys like him with coin like that are going there, then there's money to be won.
I guess. I thought it was yeah.
If you think about it, but you're probably right. You're right. It was a room full of commoners, and there probably wasn't a whole lot of money. But it seems like the bigger houses, when they're desperate, they go there looking for fighters. So there's
well, that's
some
what
money to
he
be
said.
made
Yeah,
there.
well, that's what he
Yeah.
said, because he even said, of course, like, what are you doing here? And he's like, well, we're looking for fresh meat. We're looking for somebody else. There's always some. And then they get cut away. Through the whole time, we're seeing all this brutality. These guys are just brawling it out,
Right.
on the main one. But the one last takeaway from his former buddy there, who decided he was going to try to blackmail him right before he left. He was like, you know what? Maybe I could tell your boss a little bit about your backstory and some other stuff that you did. And then that's when he gets popped in the face for talking all that. It's like, so already we know it's going to come back. This dude's going to come back. It's going to cause problems.
I don't think there's anybody in this show that doesn't have a background of some sort, some dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. But that's the thing. It shouldn't even matter with Korris, because he proved himself in the arena. Yeah, he probably did a lot of bad stuff. But then again, do you want to double cross him? Because he could probably kill you.
hell no. Well, yeah,
So-
obviously, right?
So we got Jacked Mouth over here.
Jack Mouth. All right, I like Jack Mouth.
Bring Jacked Mouth
Mhm.
talking all this smack like he could do something out of nowhere. This is how you bring up your friendship again with your buddies. Hey, remember me? Hey, can you help me out with a job some coin? No. Well, I'm going to tell all your secrets to your boss. Oh boy, what a prick you are. Here you go.
That didn't work out very well for him, though.
No. But so yeah, he's hanging out. Korris is now hanging out with the young kid. It's funny, they said his name later on in the episode. We called him Curly, but he was hanging out with him.
Orpiter.
Yeah,
Orpiter.
Orpiter.
Yeah.
Lord, that is all right. That's some name.
Yep.
But he says, "Hey, listen, like you just said, talks about the fight, talks about putting things together, and it's like, we can talk more about this over drinks. Let's head out." But the way he says it, come on now, he's giving that hint. It's like, I think we're gonna have a little private party.
A little flirtatious, yeah.
Yeah, a little
I got the vibe,
flirtatious.
too. I got the vibe too.
He's
Touched him on the shoulder a little bit. Even Korris was like,
yeah, he gave the little glance, but I think he knows what's going on. And he's like, yeah, we could do this, because remember the whole point, and I think it gets brought up here during that when he was talking to potty mouth over there, is that he was looking for, was it I don't want to butcher these names, Anibius, whatever, the dude that deals with grains.
Anubis.
There we go.
Yeah.
Anubis. So he was looking for him because the story is that he needs grains for the house. Right?
The house
That's
of
what's
Ashur,
going
yep.
on. Yep, that's what he's saying. So then they were like, all right, well, anyway. So now we got the Korris, and he steps away, and then we're off with those two.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah.
that young guy basically invites him back to his house for chat, and promises him the grain that he said he didn't have. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He said we could talk about it. We could talk about it.
Yeah.
We could talk about it. But then now we go back to the house of Ashur, and then we actually see Ashur. I said Ashur. Holy shoot, Ashur. He comes down. Right? Did I see that before? I said,
I think we've both Ashur.
Oh my lord! Shoot,
Ashur.
Yeah, Ashur. So we see that he put on his armor, and they're like, "Oh shoot, what's he doing? He's coming down to fight. He wants to go one-on-one with Achillia, right? He wants to do this. He was like, "This is it. You're going to show me. I want to see you." And they were like, "Oh, what's going on?" And again, he has to keep saying it. It was like, "No, she was able to pull something nobody here was able to do." Which was to make Korris bleed. Yeah,
right.
Doctor bleed. So clearly there is something going on with her. She's special. So we have to do this. But she was like, all right, fine. She was like, let's go. But she does say a little something.
Am I to be punished if I draw blood?
Such a feat will be met with reward.
And we're hyped. We're like, oh, this is it. This is it. And she throws down the shield.
Yeah, because the shield was just weighing her down.
Yeah. She throws down the shield because that was part of the whole thing. It's like, why are you just basically saying you're not fighting like the way I first saw you fight? And I wasn't there to see when you fought Korris, so just prove it to me. It's like, well, I don't need this. And then I was like, all right, let's get that sword over here. Here we go. Let's go. And they stand up, get ready to battle, and then it cuts. And it's a to be continued. Same bad channel, same bad time.
Bad time.
Oh, epic fail. No, well, they did cut though, and that was disappointing. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
But
But
it
then,
wasn't too bad. Yeah, keep going.
no, was it? I think then it took us to expensive senator's house, right?
Yeah, yeah. We got the senator. He's over there playing Othello with his daughter.
Yeah.
The wife walks in. Right, she's just again just more. There's not too much fluff, but we just seeing how evil this wife is and how much she just hates Azure. She just can't stand him because
The
right,
Syrian.
that's all she wants to go. I refuse to
Syrian.
go there. It's just like no, come on, there was a lot going on here, a lot of the politicking.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
the senator basically admits to her, the wife, no, her, daughter and wife, there she is.
Mhm.
Basically admits to her because she starts bad mouthing the Syrian. He's like, you got to chill with that. You got to relax with that because I got something in the works right now and it involves the Syrian. And she's like, oh, what do you hired him? And he's like, no, he doesn't know. I dropped some info in his ear in episode 2.
Right? He
I'm
looked at the
looking,
camera, he winked at us.
yeah,
Oh, no, I think I do.
and he dropped that info to see if that info will get back to Crassus in Rome. And if it does, he knows he can't trust the Syrian. If it doesn't get back to him, he's thinking about involving the Syrian Ashur in his own schemes. But the wife ain't trying to have it because she just doesn't want anything to do with him. And she's like, oh, you invite him to the house, and then he's ogling the daughter. How could you? And he's like, I'll marry the two if I think it's going to make us a stronger house. So you better watch your mouth. Basically. So
is this also when she came up with the whole unworthy hands? I wrote this down.
Unworthy hands.
And there was the senators. I wrote senator's son.
Sounds like something she'd say.
At the back end.
Yeah,
it was like at the back end fight. And there was somebody was bringing that up. But yeah, that's what's going on with that. Trying to think here.
And I think it cuts back to
with
Korris
Azure
and
finally. No. It was
Azure
Azure, and Achillia, because she's just getting dropped. She just can't hang. And he just keeps tripping her down, throwing her down, and he's like, why you keep failing? Why you keep failing?
But it's a very poignant line of questioning.
Yeah, because he sees more in her. He feels that there's more here. Now everybody's watching this, and they're like, "See, I told you," because she's a woman. Come on now, And she gets a weird flash of an image. It was like, I don't know what it was. It was very weird, right? It's like a bright light, and then a cutaway, and then he basically tells her, "Well, you go figure out when you come up with a good answer," and then he leaves her there.
So when the slave girl Hilaria Red had went down to the cells, what she admitted at the beginning of this episode to Ashur, she noticed those thin little scars all over the back of Achilles' hands, and she mentioned that to Ashur. So when he's asking her, "Why do you keep failing?" he's trying to learn what those scars are all about.
That's a long form way of doing it. Why not just ask her? It's like, what's with the scars?
No, because she's not the type of person that's just going to forthcome and tell him. He knows he's got to beat it out of her.
Oh man, I guess so. I don't know.
Besides, it's about a school of gladiators. Why would you ask why?
No, I know. I get it. For the show, it makes more sense. It's like, this is what we must do battle.
And that flashback was something from her past where it looks like she's getting carted away by 2 other Nubian warriors, basically. I think she failed in her duties to protect her family or something like that.
There's going to be more to it. I mean, we got when it comes out, but it's definitely going to come up. But yeah, I also had here the whole thing with the husband and wife. They go through their whole, like, we just brought that up, the whole dialogue. But also he wants to point his daughter in her direction, in Azur's direction, because he feels that he still has sway, that Ashur still has Rome's ear for what he did against Spartacus. So she was like, no, we can't. He's less. Stop thinking like that. You're the wrong way. This is the best.
Two double-sided coin here. is that she comes back from hanging out with all the other wives in the city, and she's like, we got to get our daughter married again. She
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
keep bumming around the house. People are talking out there, and
Yeah.
I don't want tongues a wagging.
Right. Yeah.
So
And she doesn't like
she brought the
fight.
subject up of marrying the daughter off, and he's like, oh,
Yeah, it's perfect. This is it. It's all positioning.
Yep.
She's against it, but you know what? It's always been like that, right? That's what we've seen from just history and time and all the merging. It wasn't about love. It's about power, politicking.
Politics,
You know,
quite
that's
often.
it. It's like, you know what? We're about to go to war with this country. How about we marry our kids together? Loud peace. They're going to reproduce. They're going to have a kid. It's always going to unite us. You know, and it just. But no, she's not having it. Not like she has another suitor in mind, because she passed on her girlfriend who was like, hey, my son's ready. Nope. Sorry, not happening. So it would have been interesting if there was another guy who was like, I want her hand. And then we have now somebody who's going to try to.
We might still see that. We're only episode 3. We might see a quarter come a calling.
Yeah,
you know?
it could be. Somebody might want to do that. But then again, what's the best way to say it? I feel like all these people have soft hands, you know? It's
yeah,
like,
they do. That
think,
family definitely does.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see anybody who's just going to step up and whip out a sword. I was like, you know what? Let's throw down. No, it's not going to be like that. Yeah, and we also learned that she doesn't like to go to the games, the daughter. She doesn't like the arena. She's not into all of that. So not only do they have to find a suitor and try to bring her in front of Ashur, but then it's just trying to get her to go to these events.
Well, the mom and the dad, in their argument, they admit that she hasn't left the villa in months.
Yeah.
Since the killing of her husband by Spartacus.
What was that? We get another Achillia training, right? Another guy doesn't want to train with her. They were like, all right, you got to go. This is when the new Doctore was like, hey, all right, you go train. Like, well, yeah, he's like, why to me? Why do I? was like, oh my Lord.
Bro, yeah, that guy's gonna catch the back of the hand. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Malibu's got a big mouth on him.
He's got too much, man. Shout out to Malibu from American Gladiators.
Yeah,
he took a bad hit and never recovered. They said I saw this whole documentary about that.
Yeah,
it wasn't good. Yep. What else? He gives a whole speech about stuff. This is the temp. Then he actually starts brawling with the guy, right? They get into a whole little thing. He proves who he is. He talks about how you have to step up your game and blah blah blah. And Ashur comes over.
He says all the champions he beat. That guy.
Yeah, because he was giving his whole accolades. Like, I beat this, I did this and this and that, and and then Ashur comes over the balcony and it says, oh yeah, just if you want any of that, you have to fight well in the arena, and you could be just like that. But then again, I don't know if that's a good sell, because like, well, why is he here then? You know what I mean? Why is he here slumming it with us? Come on now. That's not a good sell. Yeah,
but he had to lend a hand basically and give homie some respect.
No,
that's a temporary Doctore.
Yeah, I give him respect. One of them is gonna die. Father and son. I don't see both of them making it out of this season.
No, that's gonna be a dramatic turn of events, right?
Yeah.
But I think then we cut back to Korris leaving the rich kid's house.
No, we get to the next part of that, where he's at the rich kid's house, and then we see two guys wrestling.
Yeah,
remember? Yeah, they were wrestling, doing their thing, and then he's, Korris is still talking to him. Well, they were wrestling, because then they're talking, and he's getting bored with it, and he said next, and then they stopped wrestling and just start going at it. They were just mouthing and touching and getting all down and dirty, and we're waiting to see what's going on with Korris with all this, and he's still calm. He's like, all right, whatever. And then that's when we find out this young kid has plans. He was like, hey, I want to offer you a job. And he's like, oh, really? He's like, well, maybe we could do something down the road. And this is whole big thing, but he's been filling him up with wine. That's another thing. And that's what was concerning to me, because I'm like, why is he drugging him? I don't think we're getting to the point where he's Was he trying to get him drunk so that way he can spill all of Ashur's secrets or all that stuff? Because he wasn't.
I think young homie Curly.
Mhm.
I think he swings both ways. I think he would have probably tried to make moves on Korris had Korris been more receptive.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's something clearly he does with all his guests, even the women, because he admits to Korris in that conversation about how a couple of the wives that you met earlier in the episode have been to the house, watched the whole wrestling touchy thing, and it turns them on. And Young Buck has had sex with a couple of the wives and admitted it to Korris.
Yeah.
So Korris has dirt on the wife of the senator and two other ladies, and before he gets up and goes, he secures the grain for the house.
Yeah.
And tells and the young guy says, so what do I have to do to get you to be my doctore? And not in so many words. He was being coy about it, but that's basically what he was asking. And Korris is like, well, the first thing you'd have to do is get a couple of my guys to fight in the next big games, right? Which is something Ashur had been trying to do at the senator's house and got shot down hard in episode 2. So we were all excited, like, oh, Korris just did what Ashur couldn't do. That was really cool. I thought that was really cool. And he got info, he got grain, and he got the guys in the games.
Well, the guy even said it too. He's like, why would I want to do that? He's like, I don't like it. He's like, no, those are my guys. I trained them. Ashur,
Yep.
Ashur didn't train them. These are my people.
Yeah, because Young Buck was like, well, why would I help the Syrian get gladiators into the game in my name?
Yeah.
And then he gave him the speech. He goes, because if you ever want me to be your doctore, this is how it starts. I thought that was really slick.
Yep, and then they high-fived and did a bro hug, and then he bounced. But then he walked out, right? It was like, oh, yeah, you're right. You got it. You know, so then he heads out. We do get a scene with Red and Gypsy Girl, right? They have their little heart-to-heart moment because Red is sad. Red is sad with everything that's going on with all this. And Gypsy Girl is like, you know what? Don't worry. I'm there for you. You know, I'm here. I'm a friend. And if you need a little something extra, you know, we could do this. And this is where we learned that, I thought they were always in like this 3-way relationship. No, that's not the case. She only jumps in when Ashur wants her to jump in. It's not one of those type of situations.
Yeah, Red's his primary lover.
Yeah, and then Red even that's when she puts the brakes on this. I was like, I think we're just friends. Yeah, that's it. Don't get it twisted. We're not in a relationship. You're not really part of what I have going on here. You come in for some partying and stuff, but that's as far as it goes. Know your role. And then she's like, okay, I can stick with it, being a friend, you know. And then I started hearing that song, you got what I need. You know,
she looked disappointed, to say the least.
Yeah, she was not happy with it.
She was disappointed.
I'm telling you, I have a feeling she's going to take Red out.
She's going to try. Something's going to happen with her. She doesn't seem happy, and I don't trust anybody in this show that isn't happy.
Anybody. She does not like that, but she's got plans. She's got plans.
And then after that whole thanks, but let's just be friends scene, I think it cuts to Korris in the alley.
Oh yeah, man. That was
the alley. So Korris is drunkenly walking home in the
dark. You should never do this. You should never walk home alone in the dark. Drunk. I've had plenty.
Tough dude,
times.
Though.
Oh yeah. Definitely tough dude. So he goes through, and we knew it was gonna happen, right? It's dark. It's raining. He's in.
It just seemed like a setup.
Yeah, he bumped into one guy. He says he's sorry. Guy doesn't want to hear it. Next, he notices a bunch of people around him. What, maybe like 5 or 6 guys?
Yeah, like 4 guys in straight up rogue clothing. They had hoods up, knives out, like they were rogues.
Yeah. They came ready. They're ready.
Land pirates.
And he's like, oh, something to the effect like there will be blood, right? He's like,
he tried to say something nice, and they whipped out knives, and he goes, blood it is. Yeah, Korris is the man.
Oh man, this was awesome. This was an awesome,
great
brutal fight scene.
Good
Batch in their face. Yeah.
Good choreography. And
What I love about the choreography here is that it reminded me of John Wick in that it doesn't have a lot of fast cuts. I don't like the fast cuts.
It was camera roll. It was camera roll the whole time.
Camera roll. You know, one guy grabs him, he turns him around, spins around, stabs him. The next step. Another guy grabs him, takes his head, puts it in the fire, right through him on the ground. Another guy grabs, stabs him, starts stabbing him a few times. He then takes that knife out and stabs the other guy. The guy's in front of him. He puts his thumbs in his eyes, crushes his eyeballs.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw Crushing Eyes, and that was in Deadwood. Did you ever see that show, Deadwood?
Oh, I love Deadwood.
Remember, there was that brutal fight, and the guy was losing, and then he just like got him down, and he just like pressed another guy. He just gushed in his eyes. Oh, that was.
I think
rough.
the one that comes to mind is probably Game of Thrones when the mountain.
Yeah.
The
with Pascal. Pedro Pascal wound up getting his eyes crushed in. Oh man, that was brutal.
But awesome scene. He gets stabbed like 4 times, twice in the gut, one in the back. Like it was funny because he reached and took the knife out of his back like it was like the knife was seized back there. It took me a minute. I was like, oh no, that wasn't his. That was the other dude's knife that got left there. Oh,
he just leaves him. He's like, oh, I got weapons. Didn't even react.
No.
Like, and I can understand that too. If you ever been in a fight, if your adrenaline is pumping, you're not even thinking about it. You know.
Oh, he was drunk, adrenaline.
That too, drunk, adrenaline.
And he's a badass.
And he's a badass.
So,
you know, speaking of that, though, he sees something that we suspected, and it was I was gonna say grizzled tooth. Dirty mouth. Yeah, so it turns out that the old gladiator he saw down in the pit and who tried to blackmail him was the guys who set him up with the bad guys on the street. And he's gonna squeeze some information out of him, but something happens and he loses grip on him and he has to fight one last dude one last time. When he turns around, Yuck Mouth is gone, and then basically it got a potty mouth. What was it? Orbit's gum.
I think then it cuts back to the Lotus, back to the house of Ashur.
Yeah.
And I think it's the love scene, right?
Yeah.
Basically, Ashur, after just yelling at the 2 lady slaves earlier in the episode and basically putting the fear of God in them, he asks Red Hilaria what she thought of his performance with Achillia in the Lotus, and she gave him a very sterile answer, a very, you're my master, you fought like a god answer, and he's like, no.
I wish I saw you in the arena,
right? And he's like, no, I don't want a slave to master's answer. I want Hilaria to tell Ashur what she thinks. And that turned into, I adore you, and that turned into a love scene. And that basically then Brunette tried to jump in.
Gypsy got you. I feel like I've seen this on another show. Yeah, so they start going at it, and she's like, all right. She drops her clothes, she jumps in, she starts kissing him and stuff. He's going with it, he doesn't care. Then she turns away, Red turns away, starts kissing Gypsy. I'm like, oh, this is it. This is the opening. But no, that's just to get her up, and it's like, all right, go get her some wine. And while she's riding this dude, and she's looking, I'm like, come on, know your role. Go get the wine.
She told her straight up, she goes, go fetch wine and await my summons. Because I think there's a level, I think there's a hierarchy of slaves in the house, and I think Red is above her, and she knows that.
Wow! Like so you
the house mistress? Red is the house mistress, and everybody else kind of works for her, and then down. But they're all slaves to Ashur. So
that was definitely a scene.
And then after that, I think we go back to the sands in the Lotus. We go back downstairs to school, and I think there's some inspirational talk. Oh, does Ashur brings Achillia out
But that's the thing. He was still upstairs doing it. I wrote down that this is when Korris shows up, but I'm not sure.
Oh, remember
that,
he brands. So I guess he's done having
no,
sex.
no,
He
because
comes.
there's one more fight. Because remember, there was another fight that they had where he came down again and she almost went over the side of the cliff.
Yeah, they go at it more than
Yeah,
once.
they
during the
had one
episode.
more fight, and that was a
Mhm.
brutal one because she could have died twice.
Mhm.
You know, and there was this one where I guess he had part of her garment and it like flung her over his head. And he was
Body
like, "Why
slammed
do you
her.
fail?" Yeah, he's like, "Why do you fail? Why do you fail?" He kept asking.
Mhm.
You know, and I think where was it? There we go.
I stand unworthy, my duty forsaken, and the memory shackles fucking mine.
There we go. Now we know. She's
Yeah.
unworthy because of her dark past. Something she's saying is blocking her from her full potential. She had something tragic happen, and we saw a little bit again with some flashes. Not sure. Yeah, I think you hinted that maybe it was somebody she was supposed to protect.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking it has to all relate to when they picked her up to be a slave. That has to be traumatic right there. If she had a family and she was doing the whole thing, and then these guys show up and like, all right, get on the boat, and she couldn't protect them. But then again, she's never brought this up. If that was the case, you would think she would say, all right, if I get my freedom, I need help also to go find my loved ones or whoever that they were taken.
I have a feeling she's probably given up on that. I mean, it
So
looked to
maybe
me from the flashbacks that happened back in Africa or something like that, and then her family's probably dead. I think that's what's holding her back, or something like
maybe.
that. I don't know.
It's a
But
dark time. Yeah.
long story short, Ashur winds up addressing the school, all the gladiators,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And he's like, so I understand through the Doctore that a bunch of you question how she could be part of a brotherhood. And that's real simple. She's done something none of you could do, which was make Doctore bleed. So you can all cry and complain that it's a lady in the arena and that we're a low-hanging fruit of out of the houses and all that stuff, but it's not going to make any difference because she's going to be your brother. And he goes to heat up the brand. I think somebody else has something sarcastic to say. Hey, but he winds up making her swear fealty to him, echo his words,
Yep.
that she will, fight for him in the arena and everything. And then he brands her. And as I thought this was neat because that was meant to be like a bam, bam, bam scene. And right at the end of him branding her, the door slams open and it's Doctore stabbed up, crumbling in. And
He made it back.
Oh, Doctore, what happened? And so it just totally cut from the whole branding thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he basically, Korris comes stumbling into the Lotus, all stabbed up, and people help him. And then they cut.
Well, he goes and he tells them everything that happened and that it was all a setup. Everything was a plan. All of the whole conversation and him playing dumb about grain, needing this,
didn't need
not
the grain.
needed, didn't need the grain. This was also
he's never gonna go work for Young Buck.
Nope.
It was
He
all
said it all.
a scheme.
He's like, yeah, he believes me. He thinks that he has a shot of luring me away. Yep, so all works, and we're gonna get our people in the next games.
Yep. So, and that's the twist I mentioned at the beginning of this conversation, where you saw them arguing at the beginning of the episode, and what you didn't see when they cut to the Lotus, that's when they had the rest of that conversation. That was Ashur's plan, and Ashur told Korris, "Now you got to go out and do this scheme." And that's when Korris came out and said, "I got to go. You're going to be the temporary Doctore," and the plan was put into motion. So that was a great twist.
Yeah, it was a good twist. And then the final twist, though, is the very end. When Snaggletooth, now we'll give him another name. Remember, walking in the alley.
Yuck, that dude.
That's it. Yuck. All of it. We'll give him every name in the book. He's walking down in the alley, and then we see who really hired him. Senator's wife. She's the one behind all of this.
Pravella.
Yep. And
I'm calling her Cravella from now on.
Yep. She couldn't do it. He's sorry. She slices his throat, right? Wasn't there?
He was like, "Oh, I did what you asked. Give me some money, or at least call my debt off." And she's like, "Oh yeah, no, your debt,
it's off. That's it.
Yeah, you don't got to worry about that no more."
That's right. Blood on the ground.
So again, referring to the beginning of this conversation when we said that no one is above the gratuitous violence of this show.
No,
because the senator's wife did not hesitate to slice that dude's neck.
Yep. So and then when he thought it was over, a dog comes up. It's just gonna start eating on him. And that's it. That's the show.
That's
brutal.
It.
Brutal.
Episode 3, Unworthy.
Unworthy.
I knew it was coming.
Oh boy. It was good. It was a good episode. A lot going on. I'm still getting used to, and it's been a while, with the whole dialogue, the way they deliver the dialogue, and it's just because you want to read between the lines. You get all the back and forth. And you're like, oh, I get what you're trying to say here. You're pissed about this, but you're doing the long form, right? So
indeed, expand upon thought.
Exactly. Expand upon thought.
Yes, I get it. I told you in the middle of the episode, though, I love stuff like that.
I forgot
I'm an avid reader. I do a lot of fantasy and stuff like that.
I've heard of a book. I get paper cuts. So then I just kind of like, sensitive.
But I like the old English, and in this case, kind of a twist on Latin. They're speaking with a Latin rhythm.
Yeah, so it's good. It's good. So the story's progressing, and that's what I like. So it's not back in the day when we would have these 16, 23 episode seasons. A lot of those episodes were
be filler episodes.
A lot of filler.
We haven't got any filler yet.
No filler. And I feel a lot of shows present day that have either 6, 8, 10 episode seasons, they reduce that. And they're like, it should all be quality episodes, and even if there's a side story to follow, it still circles back and it's relevant to the main story.
Yeah, this show does a good job of that.
Yeah, so this is good. I think the only other thing that we're not too sure about, and I'm blanking on it. I just had it on my head. It was a certain character, and we're like, oh, what happened to this one? It didn't get brought up again. It'll come to me later. But anyway, it was good. This was good.
I'm interested in knowing what you're thinking. So text me later if you get a chance.
Speaking of that, what about you people? What do you think so far of Spartacus House of Ashur? Are you enjoying it? Do you not like it? Are you new to it? Did you not watch the original Spartacus, or you did watch it and you're watching this? And how do you feel about it? So go ahead, put a comment. Again, thanks for the likes, the subs, the hypes, and all that jazz. And we will be back next week for episode 4. All right, there we go.
Look forward to it.
We're done. All right, everybody.
Thank you, brother.
Yep.